Queen Sofia of Spain and King Juan Carlos I have shared 62 years of marriage, raising 3 children together. However, since the late 1970s they have not shared a bed. So, what kept them from divorcing? Why did Queen Sofia endure so much pain in this relationship and choose to forgive her husband's many betrayals? Watch this video to discover the heartbreaking reality behind the union of Spain's royal couple. Their wedding resembled a fairy tale. On 14 May 1962, all of Europe turned its attention to Athens, where princes, princesses, and royals gathered for this grand occasion. The atmosphere was electric with excitement. Sofia dazzled in a stunning silver and white gown designed by Jean Desses, her 20-foot train shimmering as she walked, complemented by a family heirloom veil from her mother. She truly embodied the queen she was destined to be, leaving everyone in awe. Juan Carlos, dressed in his military uniform adorned with royal insignia, stood tall, ready to embrace the responsibilities ahead. They appeared to be the perfect couple, symbolizing hope and a promising future for Spain. Their wedding included both a Catholic and an Orthodox ceremony, honoring their respective religious traditions. As they paraded through the streets of Athens, crowds cheered in celebration. The day was filled with optimism, and onlookers believed they were witnessing the beginning of something extraordinary. Yet, few could foresee the trials that awaited them. Sofia and Juan Carlos first crossed paths in 1954 at the wedding of the Duke of Kent. This was no ordinary royal introduction. An undeniable spark ignited between them that day, setting the stage for a profound connection that would alter the course of their lives. In the midst of lavish festivities celebrating yet another royal wedding, the encounter between Sofia and Juan Carlos was particularly noteworthy. It was evident that this meeting transcended mere political necessity. Despite their royal responsibilities, Sofia and Juan Carlos made the decision to marry each other. However, their union was not solely based on love, it also served as a strategic political alliance that was advantageous for both parties. Sofia, a Greek princess, had strong ties to European royalty, while Juan Carlos was poised to become the king of Spain. Their marriage not only strengthened the bond between Greece and Spain but also reinforced Juan Carlos' position as a reliable future leader for Spain. Both hailed from significant royal lineages, Sofia from the House of Glucksburg, the Greek royal family, and Juan Carlos from the House of Bourbon, which had ruled Spain for generations. Their union was about more than just their personal relationship, it aimed to fortify alliances across Europe and instill hope in Spain following years of civil strife and dictatorship. This marriage represented a partnership designed to uphold their nations and royal heritages. After tying the knot with Juan Carlos, Sofia experienced a profound transformation in her life. She stepped away from her identity as a Greek princess and fully embraced her new role as the future Queen of Spain. One of her initial significant sacrifices was converting to Catholicism, a meaningful gesture that demonstrated her strong dedication to her new homeland. This was more than just a symbolic act, it marked a significant personal change for her, having been brought up in the Greek Orthodox Church. Alongside her religious shift, she embraced Spanish customs and traditions, fully immersing herself in her role as queen consort. From the very start, Sofia dedicated her life to her duties, working diligently to support Juan Carlos and the Spanish monarchy. However, her commitment extended beyond public obligations, she took her responsibilities as a mother to heart. Together with Juan Carlos, she raised 3 children, Elena, Cristina, and Felipe. Sofia played an active role in their upbringing, ensuring they received a proper education and were well prepared for their royal duties. Her dedication to her children became a vital source of strength during challenging moments in her marriage. By the late 1970s, cracks began to appear in Sofia and Juan Carlos' marriage. The emotional distance between them widened, leading to rumors of Juan Carlos' infidelity. These were not mere fleeting encounters, his unfaithfulness became increasingly common, and whispers of his romantic liaisons circulated within royal circles. As time went on, Juan Carlos' affairs turned into an open secret, known both inside the palace and among the public. By the 1980s and 1990s, his reputation as a womanizer overshadowed the positive image he had cultivated as king. The number of his mistresses, reportedly in the thousands, became a source of heartache for Sofia. Each affair further strained their already fragile relationship, deepening the emotional divide between them. What began as private gossip eventually became public knowledge as the media uncovered details of his extramarital escapades. For Sofia, this was a crushing blow. She had sacrificed so much for her role as queen, only to face public disgrace in return. Nevertheless, she chose to remain composed, always presenting a dignified front. Her loyalty to the crown and her family took precedence over her own suffering. The emotional burden of her husband's betrayals weighed heavily on her, yet she persevered, concentrating on her children and her responsibilities as queen. This time marked a shift in their marriage, as the once intimate bond transformed into a relationship characterized by formality and distance. Despite Juan Carlos' infidelities and the growing emotional gap between them, Sofia and Juan Carlos chose not to divorce. This choice baffled many, but it was rooted in several significant reasons. One of the key factors was the need to uphold the Spanish monarchy. Spain had only recently moved from dictatorship to democracy, and a stable monarchy was crucial for maintaining the political equilibrium in the country. A royal divorce could have sparked a scandal that jeopardized the institution and undermined public trust in the monarchy. For Sofia, duty was also paramount. Coming from a royal lineage, she understood that her role as queen extended beyond personal fulfillment. It was about serving her nation. Ending her marriage would have been perceived as a failure, both as a wife and as a queen. Her commitment to Spain, the crown, and her children kept her in the marriage despite her pain. Religion played a significant part as well. As a devoted Catholic, Sofia held her marriage vows in high regard. The Catholic Church views marriage as sacred, and divorce was not an option for someone in her position. This strong sense of faith and responsibility led Sofia to remain dedicated to her marriage, even when her husband was emotionally and physically absent. Lastly, there was the issue of public perception. They continued to present a united front at official events, which was vital not only for Spain but also for their family. Sofia placed her children's futures and the stability of the monarchy above her own feelings. A divorce could have cast a long shadow over her children's prospects, especially Felipe, who was being prepared to inherit the throne. Juan Carlos' infidelities were not merely a matter of personal choice or a lack of respect for his marriage. Reports, including insights from retired Commissioner José Manuel Villarejo, suggest that the former king experienced a condition known as hypersexuality, which significantly heightened his sexual urges. This physiological challenge made it exceedingly hard for him to manage his libido, leading to concerns that it had become a state problem. The situation was serious enough that, according to Villarejo, Juan Carlos was reportedly treated with female hormones and testosterone blockers to help curb his sexual impulses. These interventions aimed to control his overwhelming desire, which was seen as detrimental to the royal image and the monarchy's stability. For nearly 3 decades, King Juan Carlos managed to keep the more troubling elements of his private life hidden from the public eye. However, Spanish author Amadeo Martínez Ingalls alleged that over a 6-month period, the king was involved with 62 women and had more than 2,000 lovers from 1976 to 1994. Journalist Ana Romero also published a book titled The King Uncovered, which reveals the secretive romantic escapades of King Juan Carlos I. In it, she outlines his many affairs and the lengths taken to conceal these relationships to safeguard the monarchy's reputation. The book highlights notable figures such as Corina Larsen and examines the political and financial repercussions stemming from his infidelities. Among the most discussed rumored mistresses was Sandra Moszorowski, an 18-year-old actress who tragically died under mysterious circumstances in 1977 after a fall from her balcony. Another alleged mistress, Barbara Rey, who was crowned Miss World Spain in 1971, reportedly received over £500,000 in public funds to remain silent about her relationship with the king. Spanish photographer Cueca Campillo also disclosed that she would meet the king for clandestine encounters at the back entrance of Zarzuela Palace, often using a van for their secretive meetings, as they had no other private options. Juan Carlos' infidelities were not merely a matter of personal choice or a lack of respect for his marriage. Reports, including insights from retired Commissioner José Manuel Villarejo, suggest that the former king experienced a condition known as hypersexuality, which significantly heightened his sexual urges. This physiological challenge made it exceedingly hard for him to manage his libido, leading to concerns that it had become a state problem. The situation was serious enough that, according to Villarejo, Juan Carlos was reportedly treated with female hormones and testosterone blockers to help curb his sexual impulses. These interventions aimed to control his overwhelming desire, which was seen as detrimental to the royal image and the monarchy's stability. For nearly 3 decades, King Juan Carlos managed to keep the more troubling elements of his private life hidden from the public eye. However, Spanish author Amadeo Martínez Ingalls alleged that over a 6-month period, the king was involved with 62 women and had more than 2,000 lovers from 1976 to 1994. Journalist Ana Romero also published a book titled The King Uncovered, which reveals the secretive romantic escapades of King Juan Carlos I. In it, she outlines his many affairs and the lengths taken to conceal these relationships to safeguard the monarchy's reputation. The book highlights notable figures such as Corina Larsen and examines the political and financial repercussions stemming from his infidelities. Among the most discussed rumored mistresses was Sandra Moszorowski, an 18-year-old actress who tragically died under mysterious circumstances in 1977 after a fall from her balcony. Another alleged mistress, Barbara Rey, who was crowned Miss World Spain in 1971, reportedly received over £500,000 in public funds to remain silent about her relationship with the king. Spanish photographer Cueca Campillo also disclosed that she would meet the king for clandestine encounters at the back entrance of Zarzuela Palace, often using a van for their secretive meetings, as they had no other private options. During this period, Juan Carlos confessed to starting a new relationship, which ultimately ended his connection with Corina. Corina disclosed that the former king proposed to her on 2 occasions, vowing to make her a princess in a desperate attempt to revive their romance. Their relationship stirred controversy when Corina later accused him of harassment and spying after their split. The media storm surrounding his affair with Corina further tarnished Juan Carlos' public image, especially as reports of lavish gifts and financial support emerged. It was alleged that he had given her significant amounts of money, raising suspicions of corruption. This affair not only caused personal embarrassment but also triggered a political crisis for the Spanish monarchy. Perhaps even more startling was the allegation that Juan Carlos had an illegitimate child. Investigative journalists Jose Maria Olmo and David Fernandez claimed that King Juan Carlos fathered a 4th child after Princess Elena, Princess Cristina, and King Felipe, a daughter named Alejandra. According to their findings, Alejandra was born in the late 1970s or early 1980s and her mother is said to be part of Spain's aristocracy. The book details that Alejandra's mother met the former king when she was younger, had mutual friends with him, and connected over their shared passion for hunting. However, Juan Carlos has categorically denied this assertion, stating, "It is not true that I have a daughter." Although there was no official confirmation, the rumors continued to circulate, adding yet another layer of scandal to his already damaged reputation. Several people have claimed to be his offspring, yet neither Juan Carlos nor the royal family has ever officially recognized them. These high-profile relationships and rumors of an illegitimate child only widen the gap between Juan Carlos and Sofia. Even with the ongoing scandals, Sofia stood by him in public, upholding her dignity as queen consort. However, the emotional strain from his betrayals and the relentless public humiliation became too significant to overlook, further deepening their rift. While the media was preoccupied with Juan Carlos' affairs and scandals, Queen Sofia continued to present herself with grace and actively engaged in public life. She frequently took part in charity events and social initiatives, reinforcing her image as a devoted royal. Sofia has always been passionate about humanitarian efforts, particularly in health, education, and environmental issues, which became her main focus during her husband's time in exile. Despite the emotional burden of his infidelities, Sofia managed to separate her personal pain from her royal duties. She found comfort in her work and cherished relationships with her children and grandchildren. Throughout Juan Carlos' absence from the family, Sofia emerged as a source of stability in Spain, earning admiration for her resilience and dedication to the monarchy. Her ability to fulfill her responsibilities amid personal challenges solidified her legacy as one of the most respected members of the Spanish royal family. In 2020, Juan Carlos chose to leave Spain in a self-imposed exile following a series of financial scandals and corruption allegations. The former king's once esteemed reputation had suffered greatly, and his departure was viewed as a necessary step to safeguard the image of the Spanish monarchy and to distance the current royal family, particularly King Felipe VI, from the escalating controversy. While Juan Carlos relocated to Abu Dhabi, Sofia made a conscious choice to stay in Spain. She opted to remain in her home country to support her son, King Felipe, and to uphold her long-established role in public life. Sofia's decision reflected her steadfast loyalty to Spain and her dedication to preserving the dignity of the monarchy, even as her husband faced challenges abroad. By choosing to stay, she demonstrated her strength and resilience, further solidifying her image as a queen committed to her nation, despite personal hardships. Throughout this time, Sofia continued to fulfill her royal responsibilities, attending official events and concentrating on her humanitarian initiatives. Her presence in Spain, while Juan Carlos lived in exile, highlighted a stark contrast. She became a symbol of stability, while he represented scandal and exile. For Sofia, remaining in Spain was not merely about retaining her position but also about safeguarding the monarchy's legacy for future generations. Over the years, there have been persistent rumors regarding tension between Queen Sofia and Queen Letizia, often sparking discussions in Spain. The two queens embody different generations of the monarchy, and their varying backgrounds, personalities, and approaches to royal duties have sometimes led to friction. Letizia, a former journalist from a middle-class background, introduced a more modern and progressive style to the royal family, while Sofia, grounded in tradition, upheld the conservative values expected of a European queen. One of the most notable incidents occurred in 2018 during the Easter service in Palma de Mallorca, where cameras captured what seemed to be an uncomfortable moment between the two queens. Letizia appeared to obstruct a photograph of Queen Sofia with her granddaughters, Princess Leona and Princess Sofia, prompting widespread media speculation about their relationship. Despite these public instances, both queens have continued to perform their duties, frequently appearing together at official events. The tension between Sofia and Letizia reflects a significant change within the monarchy, the challenge of balancing traditional royal responsibilities with the demands of modern society. Sofia embodies a strong sense of duty, while Letizia embraces a more independent and contemporary perspective, resulting in a relationship that is respectful yet somewhat distant. Despite her husband King Juan Carlos's numerous infidelities, Queen Sofia has consistently upheld an impeccable reputation. Throughout their lengthy marriage, she was never associated with another man or embroiled in any scandals. Instead, she dedicated herself to her role as queen, serving her nation and raising their 3 children with grace and commitment. Unfortunately, love was scarce in Sofia's life. While Juan Carlos expressed his affections for many other women, Sofia remained loyal to her responsibilities. She quietly endured the emotional pain of his betrayals with dignity and poise, never publicly criticizing him. Many believe she found a way to forgive him, as she continued to support him during public engagements and remained steadfast in her loyalty to the monarchy. Queen Sofia's life stands as a testament to her commitment to her country, family, and the crown, even when love and personal happiness were not part of her journey. Do you think Queen Sofia made the right choice by not divorcing her husband and preserving the appearance of a strong marriage? Or should she have pursued her own happiness and left for love instead of adhering to a sense of duty? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to share and don't forget to subscribe.